Hi folks, this is Dan Zorn, Superintendent of the Longview Public Schools, here for our last Superintendent Story Time of 2018. I'm going to share a book called Wild About Books, written by Judy, illustrated by Mark Brown. This was an E.B. White Read Aloud Award winner. Pretty cool book. It's just kind of I think as we kind of move into a little bit of a break here, it's just a good reminder to make sure our kids are reading and spending some good time in books over the Christmas break. If you're still looking to buy some presents or anything for your kids, remember the book is always a great gift and you can't go wrong with that. So I would encourage you with that. So here we go. Our last book of 2018, Wild About Books. It started the summer of 2002 when the Springfield librarian Molly McGrew by mistake drove her bookmobile into the zoo. Molly opened the door and she let down the stair, turned on the computer, and sat in her chair. At first all the animals watched from a distance, but Molly could conquer the strongest resistance. By reading aloud from the good Dr. Seuss, she quickly attracted a mink and a moose, a wombat and oryx, a lemur, a lynx, 8 elephant calves, and a family of skinks. In a flash, every beast in the zoo was stampeding to learn all about this new something called reading. Forsaking their niches, their nests, and their nooks, they went wild, simply wild about wonderful books, choosing thin books and fat books and cat-in-the-hat books, and new books and true books, and heaps of how-to books. Giraffes wanted tall books and crickets craved small books, while geckos could only read stick-to-the-wall books. The pandas demanded more books in Chinese. Molly filled their request, always eager to please. She even found waterproof books for the otter, who never went swimming without Harry Potter. Raccoons read alone and baboons read in bunches, and llamas read dramas while eating their lunches. Hyenas shared jokes with the red-bellied snakes, and they howled and they hissed till their funny bones ached. A tree kangaroo who adored Nancy Drew began solving mysteries right there at the zoo, such as why were the bandicoots' books overdue? Gently, Molly taught lessons in treating books right, for the boa constrictor squeezed Crichter too tight. Baby bunnies mucked up Goodnight Moon with their paws. Giant termites devoured the Wizard of Oz. And Bear's love of books was completely outrageous. They licked all the pictures right off of the pages. Tasmanian devils found books so exciting that soon they had given up fighting for writing. They made up adventures so thrilling and new that the others decided to be authors too. Pythons wrote with their tails, penguins wrote with their bills, and porcupines wrote with their very own quills. At the new insect zoo, bugs were scribbling haiku. The scorpion gave each a stinging review. A cannibal twig slightly devours a leaf, eating not eaten, pretentious. A roll a ball of dung, any kind of poo will do. Baby beetle bed stinks. I dig for treasure in my enchanted castle, a rotten apple boring. Hiss, 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 redundant. With so many new books, no Molly knew what to do. She hired 12 beavers, a stork, and a gnu to build a branch library there at the zoo. Then the animals cried, "We can't do it ourselves. We can check the books out. We can put them on shelves." And they did, and they do up to this very day. 3 cheers for the zoobrary. Hip, hip, hooray. When you visit the zoo now, you surely won't mind if the animals just seem a bit hard to find. They're snug in their niches, their nests, and their nooks, going wild, simply wild, about wonderful books. All right, there you have it, Wild About Books, written by Judy, illustrated by Mark Brown. just a great story about how much joy there can be in reading a book. So in the holiday season that's come, make sure your kids are reading, make sure you're reading, and don't forget that a great gift is always a book. And just nothing better than giving a gift of reading. So I just wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and just hope that you have a great holiday season. So we'll see you back here in the Longview Schools on January 2nd. Again, this is Dan Zorn, Superintendent of the Longview Public Schools, where literacy is the most important thing we do.